Ontario's NDP leader and opposition leader is spending much of the summer away from Queen's Park, as are most MPPs since it's shut down for the summer, hitting the road for an all-in for Ontario tour, looking at some of the hot-button issues the province is facing. Marit Stiles joining us live this morning. Nice to see you, Marit, this morning.
It's great to be here.
So what are you hearing on this sort of tour of Ontario right now? Because we're in a very interesting time for this province.
We certainly are. And I really wanted to we're calling it my all-in for Ontario tour, and I've been all over the province already, and I'm going to keep going. But the point is to actually bring politics to the people, get out there and actually listen to where people are at. I think if you listen to the Premier, most of the time you'd think everything was A-OK in the province of Ontario, and it certainly is not. Whether it's the job losses, permanent job losses that we're already seeing as a result of the tariffs, or the hospital closures in communities like Thessalon in Northern Ontario or right here in Southern Ontario. There are some really big issues that people are grappling with. And for most people, it's about, just getting through the day. Yeah. Things are pretty tough out there. And I'm looking as well for solutions. Because I think the solutions are out there in Ontario among the people of Ontario.
What are some of the solutions that you're seeing or at least envisioning, Marit? Because it's interesting, watching just even in Huntsville this week at the Council of the Federation, whether it was Premier Ford or Prime Minister Mark Carney, these talks clearly with Donald Trump are very complicated. These aren't easy fixes. So what kind of solutions are you hearing? Because I understand those job and economic concerns many people have.
Well, no question. I mean, and look, I am a big fan of a united, strong, Canada-wide approach to pushing back against Donald Trump's tariffs. And but I would say this, we are losing jobs right now, and I think the solutions are right before us. So a good example would be I was in Thunder Bay just a couple of days ago in a sawmill, major sawmill owned by Domtar, and the sawmills up there, just that owned by Domtar alone, the lumber would build 85,000 homes in 1 year. 1 year of lumber. And that is a significant thing. So I think we need to take it an extra step. For example, somebody there had proposed this to me. Buy Ontario, build Ontario. We need government to get more involved again in actually building affordable homes for people in this province. It's a desperate need out there all across Ontario in every region. But we could be actually helping support the forestry industry. If these tariffs go ahead, 34% increase on tariffs in lumber, that's going to kill the industry in Ontario, and we will not get it back again. So we really need to take it seriously, and we need a plan, and I don't see that right now.
And there are also major concerns in the steel and auto sector here. I mean, Donald Trump has taken direct aim at both of those industries here, whether you're in Oakville, St. Catharines, Ingersoll, or Sault Ste. Marie, Hamilton, right? I mean, it's all happening there as well. Have you visited those places yet, and what are you hearing there?
Yeah, I mean, I've been visiting with permanent job losses in Hamilton with closures. I've been meeting with those workers. They're trying to navigate that situation. They haven't heard from the Premier. Auto workers in Windsor are starting to see some job losses already. Parts are being piled up on trucks and sent over the border, and auto workers are standing in front of those trucks. And what they're saying to me is, look, we'd like to hear about the Premier saying, there'll be jobs and supports in place. When you lose your jobs, there'll be retraining, but they don't want to lose those jobs.
Of course.
So, and now is the time, again, we've got to have a plan in place to support those industries right now and push back so we don't lose those jobs in the first place.
When you factor in what you're hearing compared to what we're seeing in polls in terms of, like, right now, Doug Ford is arguably one of the most popular political leaders in this country, let alone the province's approval ratings at 44%. How do you square that circle that he has an enormous approval rating right now, but some people in this province feel like maybe he's not listening to them?
I think these things go up and down based on, I don't know, maybe just the Huntsville meetings, who knows. But it's not what I hear in the communities. I think the reality is we've got maybe another 4 years since the snap election till the next election. I don't know where Doug Ford will be by then. But what I do know is that for most people, they're not buying what he's selling on the ground. They're seeing the real impact of his lack of attention to things like healthcare. So, yesterday he was saying to the Prime Minister, you guys got to give us more money for healthcare. But it's like saying to the teacher, the dog ate my homework. Don't blame the dog. You didn't get your homework done. We've got hospitals in this province. We are spending less per capita in Ontario in healthcare than anywhere else in the province. And the money we do have is going into private clinics and out of our hospitals, out of our community care. We have a real crisis, and I don't see Doug Ford paying attention to that. And likewise with our schools. I mean, the things that I think matter to people, let alone the fact that nobody can find an affordable home to live in. And it's been 8 years since he was elected.
What do you make of all the memorandums of understanding that have been signed with the various provinces, to try to break down the interprovincial trade barriers, and also Doug Ford really pushing hard for the Ring of Fire and to get those critical minerals out? I'm curious on your thoughts on those.
Yeah, so I mean, memorandums of understanding, interprovincial trade, really important. I've reached out to some of those premiers as well, especially our friends out in BC and Manitoba. I think it's a good development. I think it's important. But yes, I think Doug Ford has made some really important and unfortunate decisions lately. I think he has set back some of the relationships with First Nations by generations. And I am very concerned that actually a lot of projects that everybody is focused on are going to be further delayed because of his actions. So he likes to pretend like this is him getting on the bulldozer, riding up into the Ring of Fire, and he's going to get it done. It's been 8 years and things have never been worse. So I think that's the measure of Doug Ford. And I think as we go through the next little while, I'm going to try as best I can in the role of the leader of the official opposition to bring forward solutions, to push the premier in the right direction so we can get some good things done.
Okay, Marit Stiles, the tour continues. Thanks for stopping by CB24 Breakfast this morning. Good to see you again.